Hello everyone, welcome to Dhani Marketing. This is Sohail and today we are going to talk about websites. So before we talk about what is a website, the structure of a website and how to develop a website, let's try to understand how it all started. All right, so the first website was created back in August 1991 by Tim Berners-Lee at CERN. And the basic purpose of creating a website was to share the information between two organizations. And from then onwards, people realized the value of internet, how fast the communication could be, and everybody got on the internet and the traffic grew exponentially. And right now we have recorded a 92.5 billion traffic each month on Google, right? So before anybody types a domain name www.amazon.com, www.google.com, let's try to understand what is www, right? So www is an interconnected system of public web pages accessible through the internet. So in simple terms, www is nothing but an interconnected network of public pages. So I'm specifying public pages because you cannot access military pages or pages that are hidden out of public with the help of www. All right, and only if you're connected to internet, you can access these pages. Fine. So coming down to the definition of a website. What is a website? A website is a collection of web pages and related content that is identified by a common domain name and published on at least one web server. In simple terms, website is a collection of web pages that are meaningful. Then you put them on a domain name that is accessible through, and that domain has to be hosted on a server. Fine. Coming down to understand what are different types of websites. I hope you have understood what is a website. Website is just a collection of web pages that is hosted on a web server that is accessible through a domain name. In simple terms, coming down to what is a different type of websites. So websites are basically categorized on their usage and functionality. So if you're using a landing page, that is a one-page website, it looks like this. So it doesn't have a menu. It's basically one pager. All the important information is put up in one page. And you can also call it as a lead generation form, wherein all the information you have put up on a one page, and there's a call to action and people come up and register there. Next, what we come up to is the second type of website called as business websites. So business websites are something look like this, Infosys.com. So on Infosys, if you see, there is a menu over here. There's the header section. There's a body that explains all the different products, what they stand for, what are they up to, the talent, the numbers, etc. So the business website is something for a brand identity online. They're not doing business here, but the brand presence online is available so that if somebody wants to connect with them and somebody wants to know something about them, they can go to the website. The third type of website that we're going to talk about is a blog or a portfolio. So portfolio websites are basically for people who want to showcase their talent or people who want to maintain a record of their graphics or architects or something collection of their work. So that when somebody wants to look up their work, you don't have to send PDFs and images. You just can give them a domain name and they can log in and check your work out. And if they're interested, they can start working with you. And apart from that, blogging. So blogging is like something putting up articles online and that is accessible to everyone. Earlier, before the blogs were coming into picture, everybody were writing books and books were not being accessible to everybody unless someone buys it, right? So with the induction of blogs, everybody started writing online and something like this came up. So you put up different categories on a blog and you start writing about them and you rank on Google. There's a good chance that once it starts ranking, a good amount of traffic comes in, you can sign up for AdSense and start earning from this, or you can start an affiliate marketing with this. Fine. So this is another type of website. And the last but not the least, what I'm talking about is an e-commerce website. So e-commerce website are websites that sell commerce, that are doing commerce online, as the term refers to, or an e-commerce can be simply added up as a website that is selling digital goods or services through a website. Fine. Now, these are the four major types of websites I gave an example of, but it's not limited to only 4 websites. These are the 4 most used categories on the internet. That's why I'm explaining them. Apart from these, there are also called forums websites. There are different types of social media websites. There are different types of search engine websites, etc. Then the important terms used in website design and development. So like I had already told you in website, what is a website? So website is a basic collection of web pages that is hosted on a server and can be located through a domain name. So these are the three things that are important in a website. The domain name. Domain names are usually identified one or more IP addresses. So for us, it is just a name, but for the computer, it is an IP address. And most of the information can be accessed through help of IP addresses, but we use URLs, that is uniform resource locator, to identify particular web pages. For example, www.dhani.com. So this is a whole domain name. So the bifurcation of a domain is as shown here. It's the HTTP is the prefix protocol on which the websites are functioning. Then you have www, that's the subdomain. Example.com, this is your domain name. Whenever you go to any website that is selling web services, like buying a domain, buying a hosting, etc., what you're going to buy from there is the domain name. So domain name could be dhanimarketing.com, it could be google.com, it could be amazon.com, and the extension matters here. So extensions are of different type. It could be .com, .in, .au, .uk. Each extension is of different significance. You can get the notes for that separately. So the whole address comprises of a prefix, a subdomain, a name, and an extension. And name and extension constitutes a domain name. Fine. So next, the term is hosting. The web hosting happens when the files that make up a website are uploaded on a server. So with the access of the help of internet, you can access those files. But what if, for example, you had stored up a website, or you stored up your web pages on a server and it got turned off? And anybody trying to access it through a domain name, they can't access it, right? So the basic function of a web server is that it should be live 24/7, so that anybody who is trying to access your website should get web pages downloaded to their computer then and there. Fine. I hope the hosting part is clear. If not, this explanation, the depiction of servers, internet as computer users, is a precise definition of how hosting works. So first, you create a web pages, you design them, you put up all the information in the way you want to make it look like. Then you put them on a server. And for example, the first computer here, you can see this computer is uploading it on the server. Then from the servers, that information with the help of internet is going to different users. Fine. The third term is content management system. The content management system is a software application that is used to develop a website or design a website. The most commonly used content management system is WordPress. Why? Because if you want to develop a website and you have no idea about coding, a CMS will do the work for you. The CMS application has different languages coded inside it, and there are different plugins, and with the help of which you can use plugins and design a beautiful website for yourself. Going forward, the structure of a website. The structure of a website is a very important aspect when compared to user navigation as well as SEO. So user navigation, for example, if you go to a website here, just imagine you come to Infosys, you find the footer here, and you find the header here, and then you find the body. So you get confusing. So whenever I go to a website, I feel a need like, okay, if I want to search for something, I'll have to go to the menu. If I want to look for some important links, I'll have to go to the footer. If I want to search about what the website is all about, then I have to go inside the menu. So these are the basic human tendencies we have on a website. So if you're changing this, it will be very difficult for the user to navigate the website, right? Next. So that is why the structure of a website is very important. First, you have the home page, then you have the menu, then you have the sub pages in that menu. If not, you directly come down to the post. If yes, then you have sub pages and post inside those sub menus. So once you have a setup of this kind, like a home page, main topic, subtopics, it is very easy for the SEO. It is not like, it is very easy for the crawler to understand your structure and give you a precise ranking based on that. Fine. So the structure of a website should be very precise to get you good ranking on Google. Please remember that. Next, the anatomy of homepage. So like I was telling you, if the web page is not, the homepage or the web page is not designed in a specific manner, the people might get confused. This is the anatomy or the structure of a website that you have to set up. First, it should be the header. Then it comes to the navigation menu, content, the main content of the body. Then you have the footer. This is all about how the structure of a website, what is a website. In the next class, we're going to study about how to set up a website using WordPress. Thank you. That's it for today.